Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, about now, about now, about now.
What's poppin', y'all? It's your man Clubwood Bales, and welcome to another episode of Wisco Sports. So of course, just to be clear, I am going to be doing my schedule prediction for the Packers. I am absolutely excited to give my thoughts on what I think is going to happen this season, and also this is going to be in a situation where Aaron Rodgers is present on the team. If anything changes, yes, I probably will have to do another one because, that's kind of my job on here. But this is how we start off. We don't know what's going to happen, but we're hoping Aaron Rodgers is there. That's the goal. So anyways, let's get started. So starting off this year's schedule, the Packers go to the New Orleans Saints to start the season. That's going to be a very interesting game. The post Drew Brees era, first time we're going to see the Saints without Drew Brees. It's either going to be Jameis Winston or Taysom Hill starting. I think this is going to be a really high-scoring, energetic game, regardless anything, but knowing how things go, usually we don't really play well when we go there. And it's going to be lots of loud fans, and I think it's just going to be a new start. Personally, I'm actually going to pick the Saints here. Even with Rodgers or without Rodgers, I think the Saints will open the season with going 1-0. I feel the Saints are probably going to have I'll say 9-8 season. I think they're going to be pretty decent, but anyways, I think the Saints are going to get an opening win to start off. The Packers are going to lose the first game of the season. It's just an unfortunate thing. Next up, the Detroit Lions at home. Detroit Lions are even worse than they were last year. It's going to be a pretty obvious win for the Packers. And obviously, first home game of the season, you got to get the win. Absolutely. All right, next up, at the 49ers. Last year, the 49ers were riddled with injuries. They won, obviously, 2 years ago. They almost went undefeated, or they went 13-3, and they went to the Super Bowl only to lose. Now Jimmy Garoppolo is could be traded. Trey Lance was drafted, and who knows? Trey Lance may be a stud. Who knows? But at this point, I still think the 49ers, when they're healthy, we just cannot play well against them. They just have too good of a defense that can contain Rodgers and everything, and being on the road, it's just going to be really hard. So I'm absolutely going to take the 49ers. So that's a good thing. So next up, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers at home. Pittsburgh is really, I think, on the last break of everything. If they don't have a good season, this is basically going to be it for their franchise. Ben Roethlisberger will probably retire after this year. I think everyone knows that the Steelers obviously need to know if their guys are really worth it, or if they're just going to be making TikToks and making fools of themselves and proving that they're the overrated defense and TJ Watt does everything just like JJ did for Houston. So you know what? We'll see what happens, but in my opinion, I think being at home, it's going to be an interesting game. I'll take the Packers winning this one. Next up, at the Cincinnati Bengals, this is a very young team. Joe Burrow, I don't know if he'll be fully healthy or not, but I think this should be a good win for the Packers. On the road, a good statement against a young team. I think this will be a great test, but I think they could be able to pull this one out. Next one is at the Bears. Of course, they drafted Justin Fields. We don't know if he's going to be starting at this point. The signs are, I'm hearing great things about him. They really love him. I don't know how this will be, but obviously he's a rookie, so I'm not expecting a whole lot. If the Packers are going to come into Soldier Field, we usually win there. So I feel like, being a rookie, I think this one's going to be kind of close, but I think the Packers can squeeze out the win here, only because I feel like we've had the better resources and they're just still trying to experiment with Justin Fields. If he ends up being a star, then that's our loss, but I'll take that. Then we have the Washington football team, and they're going to win 4 in a row. I think that's going to be a good dominant win, especially against a top defense in the Washington football team. Obviously, their offense still has a couple question marks, but that's good. So right here, and then the next win, we're going to be facing the Arizona Cardinals. The last time, I don't think we won in Glendale, Arizona for a really long time, but I think definitely going to go in there and get themselves a win. I don't know how, but I think Kyler Murray's still trying to work out the kinks, and I think they're trying to figure out how to use him. He's a good quarterback, but he just hasn't excelled at some things. So I think Packers, can take advantage of this and get a win here. So looking at it, this is like the first half of the season. So right now we would be 6-2 at this point. That's a good start. So now we got the other 9 games to worry about. So next up, we face the Kansas City Chiefs. We're going to lose this one here. I think this one is obviously going to be a great matchup. Hopefully, it's Aaron Rodgers versus Patrick Mahomes. I've been waiting to see that matchup for a very long time, but I got to favor Mahomes. I'm actually prefer Mahomes over Rodgers personally, but as a better quarterback, but it's just a personal opinion. So I think, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs have the best team in the league, as they do every year. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to take the Chiefs winning this one. Next up, Seattle Seahawks at home. This is going to be the year where Seattle falls. They obviously, their division is so tough this year. You got the Rams, and you got the 49ers, and you got the Cardinals, who are really on the verge. Seattle could possibly be last place in the division. This could probably be it for Russell Wilson. I think, the Lambeau struggles are going to continue for him. Packers get the win here. Next up, on the road against the Vikings. Still a place that we really have not played well against. Obviously, we did win the last 2 games on the road against the Vikings. Obviously, one game had no fans, and the other game was a Monday Night Football game where Kirk Cousins never wins. So I'm not really going to say anything, but this is going to be a Sunday Night Football game. Actually, wait, I'm sorry, the other one's the Sunday Night Football game, but I think this one's on the daytime. Regardless, I think there's going to be a lot of fans there. I'm not really seeing this as a win for the Packers. I'm going to take the Vikings. Next up, Rams. They're going to be a hands-down better team than they were last year. I think Stafford is honestly going to fix their offensive problems, and they're going to be a fully loaded team. Their defense is going to be really strong. However, if they come into Lambeau Field, I think this is going to be a low-scoring game. Rodgers gets it done here. Packers win. Next up, Bears, Sunday Night Football. Obviously, this is just an easy win for the Packers. We've seen this too many times already. Next up, we're at the Baltimore Ravens. Obviously, on the road against the Ravens, it's going to be a hard show. Our defense, I am still question marks about things. I think this is going to be a really hard game to contain Lamar Jackson. Maybe a high-scoring game, but I think Lamar Jackson can get it done. So I'm going to take the Ravens getting this win. Next weekend, home game against the Cleveland Browns. I'm also going to take a loss. We go back-to-back losses right here. Normally, I think a lot of people would pick us to win, but I think Cleveland just shocks a lot of teams with how good they've played. I don't know if I'm really obviously I would take Rodgers over Baker Mayfield, but the Browns defense is going to be a top 5 defense in the league this year. We know that. We saw what they did in the draft the last 2 years. This is going to be an outstanding team to really play against. They're fully loaded, and, they got some great weapons on the outside, and Beckham, Jarvis Landry, Rashard Higgins, and their tight end, Austin Hooper. So I think, they had so much motivation from last year. I think they're going to continue that this year. And I also think the Browns will win the division this year as well. So I'm going to take a big win for the Browns. They'll clinch the division with this game as well. Next one will be the Minnesota Vikings at home. Another Sunday Night Football game. I think Rodgers can definitely shine in this one. I think the Packers will win this one. And then finally, on the road against the Lions. Obviously, the season's over, and hopefully I think we win the division at this point. Lions are just awful. I'm going to take the Packers winning that one. So we finish out being 11-6. Not bad for what I assumed could be, if Rodgers leaves, then that's going to suck. But, it's going to be a lot of games. But I think, the more games we get to see what can happen. I believe we got a good team, and I think things are going to come full circle, and I'm really excited to see what happens. So, anyways, if you like what you saw, comment below with your thoughts, subscribe, hit the bell, share, do whatever, and it's your man Clubboy Bells. Stay tuned for more updates, stay safe, be smart, and as always, go Pack Go. We'll see you next time.